Yes, hello. So, shall we start? Are
Yes,
you
sir.
okay? Now, last time we were discussing about the some energy scenario in India. So we have seen some. We have come to know the what is the outcome of this course or these topics are there, and some highlights are there. So energy can be classified in the primary and secondary energy, commercial and non-commercial energy, renewable and non-renewable energy. So primary and secondary energy we have discussed in detail with the help of this PPT, and that PPT is taken from IIT Mumbai in a workshop. So primary energy is the coal, biomass, natural gas, coal, nuclear power, and renewable energy. So it is get converted into the secondary form of energy with the help of some conversion facilities. For oil, the conversion facilities, the refineries. That in the refineries we are going to refine the crude oil into the petrol, diesel, and kerosene. Whereas the biomass is directly used as a burners, it does not need to convert once it is converted, so we are using in the burners. Mostly it is used in the cooking purposes or to produce the steam in the some agriculture products. Similarly, gas we are using some burners, and many times we are using in the thermal power plants or in the power plants where it is used to run the turbines, and with the help of generating facilities it is get converted into the electrical energy. So electrical energy is the secondary energy. So coal again it is converted with the help of coal and water, it is get converted into the electrical energy. And this electrical energy find the scope in the motive power, it is driving for the different motors in the industries, as well as some heating and cooling purposes. It may be cooking, lighting, and some electronic devices, illumination purposes. So illumination purposes in both, in all the sectors, it may be industrial, agriculture, industrial, commercial, as well as the residential purposes. Whereas heating, cooling, again, it is a commercial, industrial purposes are there. So these are the some conversion facilities are there, and no doubt in the conversion facilities the 100% conversion will not be there. There is some different efficiency. The thermal plant has a less efficiency, whereas some other plants, say it may be a hydropower plant, has a good efficiency is there. So for this one we have considered, this is a say it is a history which we already discussed. Now there is no need to discuss. This is the flow chart we have discussed. So our primary energy is the coal, oil, and solar gases are there. It is get converted into the conversion facilities, and that conversion facility is nothing but the power plant, refineries are there, and it is get converted into the secondary energy. So secondary form of energy is nothing but the refined oil, it may be petrol, diesel, and electricity is again, it is the nothing but the secondary energy. Now this secondary energy is converted into the conversion facilities which is away from the consumption area. It, therefore it has to be transmitted. Electricity get transmitted by the transmission line. Oil and all oil or petrol are being transmitted with the help of railway tracks and pipelines are there. So definitely there is some losses are there, it is going to occur in the transmission section, and after transmission section that will become a final energy for the end user, where it is going to utilize that energy in the different applications. It may be electrical equipments, it may be automobile, it may be a lamp, it may be a motors, it may be a stove, and whatever it may be, that is the final user. And even though these machines, motors, and automobile have some efficiency, so that will, it is going to convert into the useful form. So after using that final energy with the help of some equipment, it is get converted into the useful form. So this is the, it is can be explained with the help of some pump. So coal is going to use in the coal is going to extract from the mines, and it is get transport. So it is considered as it is the efficiency is 90%. Now this in the conversion facility, there's a power plant, it is a 30% efficiency is there. thermal power plant. Again it is get transmitted, so 22% or it may be a 78% efficiency is there, or 22% losses are there. Now that electricity is reaches to the doorstep of the end user. Here we have taken as a farmer, he is using electricity to run the electric pump. So electric pump comprises a pump and motor, so it is a pump set. It have efficiency is only the 60 or 75% combined efficiency of motor pump set, and it get the water for the irrigation purposes. So if you consider this flow chart, start from the coal up to the pump output, there is some different efficiencies are there, and hence we can say that the natural energy, or we get primary energy, when it is converted into the useful form at the doorstep of the user, end user, there is a losses are there. So these losses is nothing but, if we can say that if you able to conserve the 1 unit of electrical energy at the our doorstep or at the end user, definitely we are going to save three fundamental units or three primary units in the system. So therefore the energy conservation is more important as compared to the all other sectors. So now we will discuss the Indian scenario. Coal supply. India is a coal-based country, so we found that we do not want to shift our energy from the coal. No doubt we will using the coal, even though there is an ample quantity of solar energy is available, and government of India is taking a very big step toward the renewable energy, isn't it? So everywhere you are going to find out there is a permission to install the solar plant in the ground as well as the rooftop. Even if you visit our city also, you will find there are many rooftop power plant has been installed in the hostels, hospitals and domestic purposes, isn't it? But in the night time we have to run our power plant, and it is going to run by the coal. So this is the coal. Oil supply, most of the oil we are taking from the Gulf countries. This is export, we are importing, and our intention is to reduce the import oil, because when we are importing, the economy is get affected. And if you are just independent over this oils or energy, the country move toward the uh, say its vision to become independent in the energy sectors, isn't it? So natural gases are there, electricity, energy, which we will consider now. Nuclear power supply. So we are having the some power plant with the help of nuclear, and hydropower plant. So hydropower plant has some natural limitation, is that it is going to erect only when then ample quantity of water is there, and this water is going to use for the drinking and agriculture purposes. So whatever the plants we are having in our country, or say especially in our state, it is a dual purpose, so it is used for the irrigation as well as the generation of the power plant. So it is the combination of drinking water and irrigation purposes, as well as the say electricity generation. But this electricity is not going to generate throughout the year at the same, or say its maximum capacity. We are going to run in the when the water is available. In the dry season, we are not going to run this plant, or there is some peaking load plant is there, that is called as a pump storage power plant we are using in the peak period to meet the peak period load. That peak period is going to occur generally from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Now energy pricing in India. So this energy, whatever the price, is based on the coal, oil and natural gas and electricity, isn't it? So this pricing is depend upon this coal we are importing, some of the coal we are importing, oil we are importing, and it is get fluctuate with the international level, and therefore the electricity rate also get reflected. If you observe our electricity bill, we found that there is some fuel adjustment charges are there, and these fuel adjustment charges are not constant. Earlier it is not constant, it is vary from every month. Nowadays they have somewhat fixed in the new electric tariff. for the different slot of the energy consumption of a consumer. So this oil pricing, electricity pricing is get added. The price of coal and oils and that natural gases are there, and because of the international market, it is not constant every month, isn't it? Now, energy sector reform. The meaning is that whatever the energy sectors are there, it is get reform. It is get split into the different say ministries. Also, there coal ministry is there, natural gas, electricity, or say energy ministry. So the purpose is that to look a very close observation over this one. So in this case, the Electricity Act has been formed. So what is the salient feature of Electricity Act 2003? We will see the salient feature. The central government to prepare a national electricity policy in the consultation with the state government. So they have formed some policies are there which is related to the electricity in collaboration with the central government as well as the state government. And what is the thrust area? The thrust area to complete the rural electrification and provides for management of rural distribution by panchayat, corporative, cooperative society, non-government organization, and franchisee. So it is our thrust area is that every rural area should be electrified, and therefore we have taken the government and non-government organization to join to fulfill this demand. Provision for licensee free generation and distribution in the rural area. What it means? It means that if you can generate the electricity in the rural area with the help of say any resources, it may be a solar energy, it may be a wind energy, and we will or the government will give the licensee, will government will give the permission to generate the electricity as well as to distribute it, isn't it? Earlier only one if you just go through the some past 10 to 20 years, 10 years back is there. In Maharashtra there is only a one agency, that is Maharashtra State Electricity Board is there. It is going to generate the electrical energy, transmission also there, and distributions also there. So nobody is going to generate the electrical energy and distribute that one. So whereas it is get deregulated into the three part. One is the generation, second is the distribution and transmission. And addition to this one, it is he has get the permission to generate the electricity by any person. He may install a wind farm in his farmhouse. He can install the captive power generation with the help of say thermal plant or other plants are there, isn't it? As well as some solar plants are there. That is called as a captive generation. So next point is I think say okay, generation being used for the captive generation, and it is get permitted. So captive generation is there. The captive generation by the hydro project, however, need clean from the clearance from the electricity authorities. So if you want to erect any independent plant, say for example, if you want to erect one generator, diesel generator, DG set in your premises, you have to take the permission from the electricity authorities. Similarly, if you want to erect some solar power plant, again you have to take the permission from the government authority. It may be a state government, central government, or say electricity board, because you are going to connect your system into the grid, and you are going to supply the energy in the grid system in the off peak period where you does not need, where your need is smaller than your generation, isn't it? That is called as a bidirectional meters or net meters are going to introduce in the market, and in the permission with the MSDCL we are going to connect for, especially nowadays it is quite common and understandable for the solar power plant. Transmission utility at the central as well as the state level to be uh, to be a government company with responsibility for the plan and coordination development of the transmission network. Transmission utility at the central as well as the state, okay, same thing is there. And provision of the private licensing in the transmission and entirely in the distribution through the independent network. So nowadays you will going to find that some of the in Maharashtra, some of the places, some different distribution licenses are there. Instead of the MSDCL, MSDCL is going to govern, but in the city distributions, there may be a some Crompton, or it may be a Jindal Power, it may be a say uh, Torrent Powers are there. They are taking the franchisee of the distribution. Earlier it is not possible, but because of the Electricity Act 2003, it is free to take any company for the distribution licensee. And when they are taking the distribution licensee, definitely it is become more convenient for the user as well as the to improve the system uh, in the in these sectors. Just please, there is some problem. Open access in the transmission for the outside. Open access transmission, it means that suppose I have a plant, my consumption is say 1 megawatt units are there, isn't it? So I can take the energy from other franchisee or other generation facilities. It may be a India Bulls, it may be a say Jindal Power or other from, isn't it? So this is called as a open access. Means a consumer can decide from where I have to purchase the energy. No doubt it has some rules, it has some regulation that the primary or the parent franchisee is there. Say for example, in Maharashtra there is a MSDCL is there, you have to take 60% of energy from MSDCL and 40% from the other energy sources. So it is quite possible, and it is benefit for the uh, say consumer as well as the utility, because the utility sometime it is not possible to supply the same amount of energy 24 hours, isn't it, because of some peaking load period and all this time. So it is get benefit for all. It may be that is for the society, for the consumer, and for the utility. Open access system is going to permit it. Distribution licensee would be free to undertake the generation. Generating companies would be free to take up the distribution licensee. So here, the any distribution licensee can install its own power plants. So if you visit in our nearby area, you will find that in nearby some Chalisgaon, there is a power plant of 80 megawatt has been installed, and it is get connected with the distribution licensee or distributions are there. So this is nothing but the private players also generating the electrical energy, and it is get connected with the grid, state grid and national grid. So they are supplying the energy. So everybody is free to generate the electrical energy. In your our rooftop system in the domestic also, what we are doing, we are connecting our system to the grid, isn't it, Maharashtra grid or MSDCL. And if we are not using the electrical energy, energy get transmitted or it is get a bank into the grid, that is called as the energy banking system, isn't it? And it in night time we are going to withdraw it. So it is similar to our general bank. If you have a more money, if you have a money, you can store in the bank. It is a bank, and when you want that amount, we are going to withdraw it. So similarly, in the captive generation, either the captive generation may be by the solar, it may be by the wind, it may be by the say, your DG set. So what you are doing, you are connecting it to the grid system. If the energy is more than your requirement, the energy get bank or it is get stored in the grid system. It is called as a bank in the term of the MSDCL and others. It is a bank into the grid, and in the night time or in the peak period, you are going to withdraw it. So it is a one kind of energy banking system with the help of because of this new electricity act is there. The state electricity regulatory commission is a mandatory requirement. So what is that? There is some regulatory commission should be there. So central government form a central regulatory electricity commission, and in Maharashtra is a MERC, Maharashtra State Electricity Regulatory Commission are there. So this body is a government body, and it is going to decide the pricing of energy. It is going to decide the electric tariff. The tariff, it is for the purchase of electrical energy, it is for the selling of electrical energy, and some say points, many points regarding with the safety of the grid, safety of the say infrastructure, people those are working in that field. So these all points has been it has to be decided with the help of it is has to be make the policy by the MERC, Maharashtra State Regulatory Commission. And this regulatory commission is going to decide the electric tariff or some revision of tariff, because there is some we can say suggestions from the customers are also there. It is get received the suggestions and some complaints from the customer, and what is the need of distribution licensee, such that there is a win-win situation. Distribution agency should say earn the money to remain in the market, isn't it? And it should be whatever the demand fulfilled by the consumer also. So this all things has been decided in the state electricity regulatory commission. Provision for payment of subsidy through the budget, जो भी आपके whatever the budgets are there in the central budget or state budgets are there, there is some trading district activity is being associated with the safeguard of the regulatory commission being authorized to fix the ceiling on the trading margin if necessary. So the things which we have explained, it is also included in the state regulatory commission. Provision for reorganization or continue of the state electricity board, again it is it may be remain in the electricity board is there, isn't it? Or it may be reorganized, that is deregulation in the state electricity board. In Maharashtra, there is a single state electricity board is the MSEB, Maharashtra State Electricity Boards is there. It is reorganized or deregulation is there, and because of this deregulation, 3 companies has been made under the government, that is called as a Maharashtra State Electricity Distribution, Transmission and Generations are there. So this is the things where uh, uh, in the electricity, this is the salient feature of electricity, this one. Now energy security, what is the energy security is there? Uh, if you think that if your grid is going to fail, what will happen? And this is a major failure, and it become a history in the electricity, how many times the grid has been grid was failed, and how much time is required to recover that one. In year 2020, I think there is a major breakdown or major failure, grid failure is there in 4 to 5 states including Maharashtra, and it should not be occur in future, and that is called as a energy security, one type of the energy security. So for this there is a challenge of the energy securities is there. So what we have to do to avoid this one failure of cascade, that is called as a cascade tripping of the generator. It may occur is that suppose suddenly the load has been occurred, and because of the increase in load, one of the generator get disconnected, and because of this disconnect of the generator, whatever the load of the generator is get shifted to the other generator, and it is also get these the remaining generators also overloaded. And this because of this phenomena, there is a cascade tripping occur in the system. Okay, so what we have to do, that is called as the first point for the energy security is the building stock pillars. Building stock pillars is that we know that the energy cannot be stored in the bulk quantity. No doubt it is going to store only for the some batteries and inverters and say UPS, but bulk amount of electrical energy cannot be stored. Cannot be stored means we are not storing. We are whatever the rate of electrical energy generation is the rate of electricity consumption generation are there. But we can build some stock pillar is that suppose we want some chilling plant in the some particular factory, there is some chilling plant is there. It is not necessary to run that chilling plant 24 hours. You can run the chilling plant in the night time, where it is a off peak period from 10 p.m. to say morning 6 a.m., or 9 a.m. you can run this one, and in daytime you can shut down. So what happen in the off peak period, you are storing the energy in the form of thermal, in form of cooling energy, and in the daytime where the maximum demand occurs, you are going to shut down it, or you are going to run in the most of the period, but in the peak period from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. you are going to shut off your chilling plant, which is not necessary to run that time. So it is kind of the stock pillars, isn't it? So this can be happen for many of the process. It may be a say effluent treatment plant, your pumping system, isn't it? Your cooling system, your heating system. So where it does not need to run 24 hours, we are going to run our these appliances or these feeders in the off peak period, and peak period we are going to stop it into that. That is called as a building stock pillars. So the security can be increased by building a stock pillar. Second point is the diversification of energy supply sources. If you diversify the energy supply sources, definitely, so it is not only, we should does not rely only on the thermal power plant or whatever the conventional power plants are there. We have to increase the uh, different renewable energy. It may be a wind, it may be a solar power plant. So if you are diversified this energy supply sources, definitely we can conserve or we can reduce the demand occurring on our plants. And if you are reducing the demand over the plant, definitely we can avoid the additional power plant, that is a very costly. Second, it is avoid to cascade tripping because of the overloading of the system. So this is the second point, is the diversification of energy supply source. Increase capacity of fuel switching. Fuel switching, suppose we are using some coal for the increase for heating of the water, in the some process is there. So we can replace it by the solar water heater. Water get heated from the solar system, and now it is get converted, now it is going to use for the generation of steam, isn't it, for the hot water, for the other purposes, for the cooking purposes, where the say community cookers are there, isn't it? Similarly, we can this is called as a one kind of increasing the capacity of fuel switchings are there. We can use, nowadays we are using electric vehicles, so it is a one kind of fuel switching. Instead of using the oil, because we are importing the oil from the other countries, so if you want to become an energy security, or if you want to become an energy independent, so definitely we have to reduce the import material. And the import, uh, presently we are using the oil, and if you are going to switch the fuel, that is by electric vehicle, we are able to reduce our import oils. Demand restraints. So if you are able to reduce the maximum demand, either by switching the fuel, either by stock pillars. So stock pillar is the one major action to reduce the demands. The maximum demand is going to occur from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. So if you use such type of stock pillars, definitely we can reduce it. So up to this one, we will stop here because the time is over. So next time we will see the other points.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.